Welcome to Grand Rapids. This is Andres, and this is the Baking Steel Studio. Today, we are making the end of summer pizza. I know summer's not quite ended yet, but we're getting close. So we thought we'd give it a little tribute to making a pizza. And what else could there be but some corn, right? We're gonna have a corn-themed pizza. And you know we don't like cornmeal underneath the pizza, but we like corn on top of the pizza. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna roll this. I'm gonna make the pizza, take you through my steps, mise en place, how to bake it. I've had my baking steels in my oven for the last maybe like 2 hours preheating at 450 degrees. I've got my mise en place ready. Let's rock this pizza, all right? I'm gonna show you all my ingredients first. I think I've solved this camera riddle too, so it'll stay on longer, but here's our ingredients, okay? We've got corn, our cheese. We're using a fresh mozzarella and some shredded fontina. This mozzarella I just sliced pretty thin, okay? And the last cheese is the goat cheese. We're gonna add this at the very end of the bake. Put it on fresh, if you will, okay? So that's our cheese. We've got our corn, and we have some bacon. Let's see here. I've pre-cooked the bacon a little bit. It's probably about 65, 70% cooked, if you will, maybe a little bit more. I'll just kind of shred it into small pieces. That's our bacon. And the reason I pre-bake this, because it's got a lot of fat rendering, and I didn't want that fat to hit. And that we have. Can you guys still hear me okay? I had just a little message about my mute came on. Okay, great. Thanks, Chris. And our dough, 72-hour dough. In fact, this is like probably a 40-hour dough. I made it at home. I refrigerated it just a little bit, like overnight last night. And this morning I was at home. I brought these delis with, I lost my dough containers. I gave them all away, so I have to get more. So I took my dough and I brought some delis home, made some dough balls about 280 grams, and I just traveled with these. And these have been resting. They were resting. This is about half full. It's starting to produce. It's starting to proof. As you can see now, it's like completely full. It's almost blowing the top off. And this has been proofing for about 3.5 hours. And it's now about room temperature, which is ideal for this dough. We want it to rest. Super important. It's just like a yoga class. If we don't let our dough rest, it will not stretch very easily. It'd be like really tight. You'll stretch it and it'll snap back. So just be mindful of that. And like I mentioned before, I have my oven preheating for the last hour. And the idea there is to, I'm trying to get my knife here. The idea is to preheat it to get that steel super hot. So let's break this off here. I'm just gonna pull some corn off for our pizza here. Making a little mess. It's all right. We'll straighten it up. Don't worry. This corn looks and smells fabulous, right? And this is like the main ingredient on our pie today. So look at the mess I made. And this is gonna go on raw, okay? This will cook on the steel. And let me put this on. I'm gonna put it on with the bacon. And there's our mise en place. We've got corn, bacon, and one secret ingredient I'm using at the very end too is some hot honey. I thought that would pair really nice with the hot honey with the goat cheese. Be a really nice finish to top off our summer pizza. All right, so let's go into, I'm gonna go top down again until that thing, I thought I had that fixed. Obviously I didn't. So for our dough, there's a light, you can see here. Flour up. Now I've oiled this deli, so this dough should slide out pretty easy. I even oiled the lid. so it would, pop off a lot easier. It wouldn't get stuck. And I just upside down, help it a little bit on the sides. Boom. There's our dough. Isn't that gorgeous? Really soft and supple. And now I'm going to just kind of coat both sides here on the counter, just so it doesn't stick. And I don't know if you can see how soft and supple this is. Because it's been lying proofing for 3 or 4 hours, it is so soft. And really gravity's going to do the whole stretch here. Oh man, it feels like a pillow. I could see that. I tend to knock some of the bubbles out, but I leave some of them around the perimeter. Personally, I think it adds some character. Some people don't like them. It's a dealer's choice. Oh man, I can see this dough. It's just like so soft. Like I'm barely doing anything to it. Got a really nice flour here, essential milling, high mountain protein flour. Let's get some of that glare off of there. Right? That beautiful? You can see I'm not really doing much. I'm just I give it a little tug. I'm stretching it a little bit. Gravity's doing its thing. Again, just gorgeous, right? There's bubbles in there. I might make this about 12 or 14 inches. Just beautiful. All right, so this is about almost where I want it. It's probably about 10 or 12 inches. And I like my pizzas a little puffy. I know a lot of people like traditional. Not me. We like to bend the rules a little bit, right? See that? Isn't that gorgeous? All right, so that's our dough. Really important step here. If you're fairly new to making pizza, you got to use a wooden board. This helps get it into the oven. Obviously, it's got a handle on it. And wood tends to whisk up some of the moisture in the dough. So I like to put some ball bearings on top. So I use semolina flour and flour. And I just kind of dust that around. And now I can take my peel, place my dough on top of it. That cool? And now I've got the semolina flour and the flour. Before I put any toppings on, I want to give it a jiggle. It's sliding like a puck. And that's really important because if I can't slide it here, it's not going to go into the oven. So if an area gets stuck, I would just pick it up, just slide a little semolina flour under there. Boom. Now, Mom, I also like to pinch these edges a little bit, just to give it a little bit of texture around the perimeter. Each bite is going to be unique, a little bit different, right? Look at that. Boom. Just gorgeous. All right. Let's see this. Okay, now let's do the topping. I'm going to use a ratio of more mozzarella than I will fontina, just because that's what I'd like to do today. I've got these pretty thin slices of mozz. It's be a lot of cheese. And then what I'll do is I'm going to fill in now with a little bit of fontina. Beautiful, right? Be a little bit more. And don't forget, we're going to add a little bit of Parmesan at the end. So be mindful of that. Okay, so now I've got that. Now let's add on our corn. We're going with a monotone color here, if you notice that. Not a lot of color going to pop on this one. Some people might add a little creme fraiche on here. Not us. Going low fat, lower fat, right? Corn. You see the colors now? Pretty simple, right? And now the bacon. And I've basically taken my slices, I've kind of cut them into these like little strips. See, like this? Little strips of bacon. Again, it's been pre-cooked a little bit. I cooked it about halfway. And again, remember, when we're topping our pizzas, we always emphasize less is more because we don't want to have too much on top because then it will not cook all the way. The dough won't cook all the way. So before I go into the oven, I give it a little jiggle, right? It's loose. So I'm confident now I can get this into the oven onto my steel. And then we'll work our magic at the very end, our magic topping. So I'm now going to switch my oven to broil. Oops. So, and the reason is, let me see, broil high. So I've preheated my oven at 450 degrees Fahrenheit using convection. I'm switching it now to broil because I want that broiler to kick in, radiant heat from above for the first maybe minute of the bake. And then what I'll do is I'll switch it back off of broil back onto bake. And the reason I preheated at 450 because I have a monogram electric oven. It's super intelligent, and if it gets too hot, that broiler will not go on. So instead of a 500 degree preheat, we do a 450 preheat. And what that does is it kind of tricks the oven. Hey, I'm not too hot. I can handle the broiler now. So when I drop that broiler on, it takes about a minute to kick in, which is very fast. Very similar to like a gas boiler, no brainer. You put that broiler on, it goes on. But the electric ovens are a little bit more sensitive to the heat. So we just got to be mindful of that. And man, this looks really pretty. See the colors? Very subtle, right? Nice. All right, so let's go into my oven. Let's go for the launch. I'm gonna try to switch cameras here so you guys can see me launch. Pardon my shaky hand. All right, so here's my oven. I got the glass on. You can see my broiler is on, right? It's red hot. So I'm gonna pull my rack back of my peel to the back of the steel. Oops. You see that? And then I just kind of shake it off, close her up, and my broiler is on, confirmed. We'll keep that light on. Timer goes on for, I'm gonna put like 1 minute on here. And I like the timer because especially in this situation, we're having a conversation, and if I don't put the timer on, then I'm going to be burning that pizza, which I don't love, which I've done plenty of times. So, all right, so that's my just cleaning up a little bit here on my countertop. Boom. And so 1 minute, I'm going to rotate that pizza. I'm going to turn the broiler off, and we'll have just the straight bake for the remainder of the bake, which might be like maybe 4 or 5 minutes. And then we're going to top it off with our magical finish. Got a little of this, Mike's Hot Honey, which is amazing. So we'll do that. Are there any questions, you guys, so far? What's up, Vicky? Yeah, hot honey is good on avocado toast. It's really good on anything. And by the way, honey's really a nice ingredient for all of our bodies, I believe. That's the latest science, right? Does anybody else have any questions? I can smell it. I can smell. Oh, geez. I put my timer on, my broiler on too long. So I got to be careful here. I want to show you guys what I'm doing. I shouldn't have my oven open this long, but I do. So I'm going to show you anyway. Mistake to do this, but I'm doing it anyway. Living on the edge. So I left my broiler on. My timer was on for an hour, not for a minute. So my broiler is now off. So I got to be careful, right? Go back to convection. Now I can go multi-bake. I'll do 500 degrees. Start it up. It's already at 466. I'll do 3 minutes just to kind of keep myself in the loop. I want to be conservative here with my timer. I always understate it, right? So I can peak before it burns. So I'm using one steel. I've got 2 steels in my oven. Just want to show I only need one of them, right? If I was making multiple pizzas, I would use the 2 steels, but for this case, 1 steel is more than adequate. It's gonna be amazing. All right, hot honey is a great idea. Does anybody else have any questions while we're baking here? And one problem with pre-making bacon before is eating it. Make sure you don't eat it all like I did. I only had one piece. Let's go. Don't be shy. Here we go. All right. We do have a corn pizza with cherry tomatoes halved, Boursin cheese, fresh mozzarella, shredded low moisture mozzarella, basil, and olive drizzle, no bacon, colorful and sweet tasting. That sounds incredible, Rick. I love that. I love the textures. I love the cheeses that you use there. Amazing. I bet it's beautiful as well. The cheese makes a really nice base. Oh, that's awesome. Robert, I have an Ankerstrom mixer in the back. Yes, I do use it to mix my doughs sometimes. And it's really nice. It's a beautiful, beautiful mixer. I absolutely love it. Like I should mix some dough here with you guys with that. It's a great mixer though. I use the hook, Robert, and I mix it really, really light, meaning I kind of just keep the hook in there, and I might mix it for maybe 60 seconds just to incorporate everything. I remove it, and I just I will do a little bit by hand once it's back in my dough container to keep all that mess kind of consolidated in there, but just very, very light. Have done corn with is that shiitakes? Amazing. Yeah, corn on pizza is really underrated in the this time of year. I highly recommend it. I'm just want to double check this thing. Make sure it's not getting too dark. It's not beautiful. It's almost done. Guys are gonna love this one. It's gonna be incredible. We'll take it out in just a minute. I'll show you the masterpiece of pizza. Let me pull it. If I'm making also another trick too, if I'm making multiple pizzas, I always have a rag in my hand. And what I'll do is before I launch my next pizza, just be careful. It's super hot, obviously, but I'll kind of Zamboni my steel, dust it off, because I want that surface as clean as possible between each round. So I'd recommend these like cheap bar tag towels you can get on Amazon. Just grab them. So let's take a look at this. Oh, it's gorgeous. You guys can see. Oh man, isn't that pretty? And look underneath, right? We're cooked nice. Get some really nice color to it. Beautiful. Let me put this camera on here so you guys can see. On top too. Sorry about that. Let me go like this. Isn't that pretty? Beautiful, right? So now what I'm gonna do is just grab a little bit of goat cheese, which is a really nice finishing cheese. Just enough, right? And this way it won't be dried out. It'll be because we didn't bake it. It'll be nice and fresh. And then a little bit of hot honey on top of that. Again, this incredible, right? Almost coming out. Ah, there it goes. It's like a little stuck on me. It's a little bit old, I think. Just spin around here. Come on, honey. You get my point here, right? A little honey. It's really nice. Just a little bit. Should come out easier than this, but it's not. But you can see it is stunning. Oops. Beautiful pie, crispy. It tastes incredible. Man, is that pretty. And that's our pizza. Our end of summer. See me there. Our end of summer pizza, corn, cheese, the dough cooked really nice, crispy. You hear that? Just that sound, incredible. Oh, someone was from who was over here from Rockford. You got to come by the class next time. We can share this together. Awesome. So let's go to some questions here. Mary Ann, hi. Does the heat from the second steel affect the baking time? Marie, great question. No, I don't think it does because it's underneath. Now, If I were to use the bottom steel, I might get a heat reflection from up top, but I don't really count on that. It may reduce the bake time minimally, but no, I don't really count on that. I like to have two steels just so I can have two pizzas in there at the same time. That's the reason I have those in there. And someone is asking, can you add ricotta? And when would you add it? Great question, Nina. Great question. I might add the ricotta pre-bake because I like the way ricotta cooks. You can also add after the bake in a swirl or something. It's really dealer's choice. There's no right or wrong answer here. I love goat cheese. I actually have goat cheese cooked on pizzas before. It's also very good, but it's also nice when it's super fresh on the pizza. You get this hot honey, you get the hot cheeses, and you get this cooler goat cheese. It's just a nice textured difference and awesome. Debbie is asking, how long did this bake for? So let's do them. This one right here was about 4.5 minutes. Now don't forget, I have my oven open quite a bit, which is kind of when I'm making pizzas, I want to keep that oven closed. I want to keep all that heat inside. But for class sake, obviously we had left it on, right? Left it open so you guys could see what I was doing. You could watch my moves. And then, so about a 4 minutes. So it was 1 minute with the broiler and about 3 without the broiler. That was back on convection bake. And Nina, yeah, Nina, it is. It looks incredible and it smells amazing. Man, I can't wait to give it a taste. I also have the multi-bake feature. Why use that function? Hi, Debbie. I just think multi-rack, I think what that means is it's going to get it more even heat with the convection going. It's just going to blow that heat. I don't ever use the single version of that. I'm always going double, especially because I'm using two steels, if that makes sense. All right. For the ricotta, do I need to drain or buy a certain type? That's a great question. I would spoon it on my pizza and just drain the excess liquid, if you will, or maybe a fork, right? A fork would help drain it, or a slotted spoon, just so that liquid does stay off the pizza, because you don't really need that extra moisture on there. I hope that does make sense there. You guys rock. Super fun. Any other questions, you guys? We have a couple of classes coming up in September too. It's going to be great. And we'll probably do fall pizzas, right? And we're going to have some guests coming up this fall too. So stay tuned. Some great guests to do these classes with us. Incredible. And if that's it, this is our end of summer pizza. It's beautiful. Bacon, corn, cheese. We'll put this on a blog so you guys can see it. The recipe. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait to taste this. I'll bring it home with me. And you guys are amazing. I appreciate you being here. Grateful for you. And if you need me for anything, I'm andris@bakingsteel.com. Please reach out. I'm here to help you guys. I'm obsessed with actually helping you guys make great pizza at home. All right. And other things, not just pizza, breads too, smash burgers, breakfast. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you. Until next time.